is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel Arunfoot. Today in this video I want to talk about the All India Football Federation, who on Monday, November the 24th, held a special general body meeting to discuss and potentially finalize the AIFF Constitution put forth by the Supreme Court of India. But beforehand it was not clear what would transpire from this special meeting, because the news was coming out that certain state associations were not happy with the functioning of the president and the secretariat. Others were saying, some state association on purpose would try and create problems. So it wasn't clear what would happen. Some even said, maybe a no confidence motion would be put forth, but nothing of those things actually happened. And as the AIFF in a press release stated, and let me read the press release and then I'll go into a little bit more detail about what happened. The release says the All India Football Federation in brackets AIFF on Monday, November 24, 2025 has formally adopted Article 25.3 in brackets C and in brackets D of the Constitutions as directed by the Honorable Supreme Court of India pursuant to its order dated October 15, 2025. As a result, the AIFF Constitution is now in accordance with the directions of the Honorable Supreme Court of India and the framework recommended by Justice (retired) L. Nageshwar Rao. With this, a matter pending since 2017 stands conclusively resolved. The AIFF expresses sincere appreciation and gratitude to all stakeholders and contributors whose time, effort, and cooperation were integral to the successful completion of this process. In alignment with the statutes of FIFA and the AFC, the AIFF remains committed to its mandate to develop, govern, and promote football across India. That press release reads well. But to me, certain questions remain. Okay, 25.C was cleared, but 24 of the 27 state associations present voted in favor of this article. But two of the biggest associations in the Indian Football Association West Bengal as well as the Goa Football Association had suggested a review in the Supreme Court of India, while the Football Association of Odisha wanted more time to discuss its viewpoint on this matter internally. Now, this point has gone through, which means 25.3 saying that someone who is part of the All India Football Federation body cannot be part of a state association. And to me, this is another point of many, many points in this new constitution, which might be logical to the Supreme Court of India, which might be logical to former Justice Nageshwar Rao and to the amicus and to other people. But from a football governance standpoint, the AIFF will at some stage have to look at this constitution and say, can we keep it like this, or do we have to make fundamental changes so that it is in the best interest of Indian football? This constitution isn't, because it has already shown by saying in the constitution, having articles and clauses, that the top league, for example, needs to be run and managed by the All India Football Federation. It seems like no one understands that, for example, the English Premier League is not run and operated by the FA, the Bundesliga is not run and operated by the DFB, and the Royal Spanish Football Association doesn't operate La Liga, just to mention a few. Promotion and relegation, also mentioned in the Constitution, is not a must. If you look at the models in North America, for example, Major League Soccer, the MLS doesn't have promotion and relegation, and it's not even held only in the US but also held in Canada. The Canadian Premier League doesn't have promotion and relegation. The Australian A-League doesn't have it, and there are a few others around the world who do not have it as well. Just to mention two key points which will be discussed. 23.3 has been changed, so it means originally it said that the Supreme Court has an oversight, an overview of any changes that the All India Football Federation wanted to make to the constitution. Now the question is, what happens next? The current body can stay a maximum till September 2026, meaning that a maximum of another 10 months of this current dispensation. The question now is, who would be all eligible to stand for election in the next cycle? That is one of the key questions. And the next question is, who will want a seat in the AIFF, or who will want a seat in the state association? Or some people, the topic of maybe being with a club or another institution. A lot of questions remain, in my opinion. Yes, as per statutes, it is compliant with FIFA and the AFC. But as per the logic in regard to sports governance, or especially football governance, there are a lot of points that can be or need to be looked at. And the question is, once you have an election, you get a new body in. Does then that new body of the AIFF, let's say, post September 2026, redo the constitution and rectify the mistakes? A point that needs to be looked at. What do you guys think? Have I mentioned everything? Have I missed maybe something? Write it down in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com, and I'll be back very soon. So Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.